Yeah, I wanted to ask you about some pop culture references in the book. Um, First, I noticed you mentioned the cartoon Flip the Frog a couple times.
Yes.
How did you come across
What
that?
what
And
were you right?
I, it's I looked it up on YouTube. It's interesting stuff.
Weird, isn't it? Yeah.
Very, very strange, and I just wondered. I mean, do you have a background studying pop culture,
I,
or
I
did
don't
you
I don't call it that, but yeah, I
just a
am
curiosity, maybe?
I am obsessed with vintage American popular culture and its development on all levels, radio, comic books, and I really, really like cartoons. I've never gotten over my love of Looney Tunes. It's a lot of how I bond with my kids. I love old cartoons in particular, including the stuff that you're scraping up from the floor, the stuff that nobody liked then and nobody really likes it now, but it becomes fascinating because it's 100 years old. And Flip the Frog is once Mickey Mouse comes out, of course, there are like six knockoffs of Mickey Mouse. Flip the Frog was one of them and one of the worst, but the cartoons are kind of loopy and a little bit dark and very sexy in ways. And so if you're a me and you've been studying these cartoons for what's becoming my whole life, you know about Flip the Frog. And it's at the point where this is going too far in the weeds, so I'm just going to go this much further into. There
Go
is
ahead.
a crazed idiot, and I shouldn't call him that, except that I'm a crazed idiot too. But this film preservationist who has gathered all the material. He's not an idiot. He's a fan like I am, and he's collected all the materials of Flip the Frog. He's made them look like they were made last week, and he's got a Kickstarter, and he's always teasing out this Blu-ray that he's going to put out of all the Flip Frogs. And I follow him online, and so I'm always seeing these excerpts and fragments and cleanups of Flip the Frog, and that includes that those cartoons are full of damns and hell. And so I thought to myself, this is interesting. It's 1931, and the telephone yells "damn." I've got to put that in the book. So that's what Flip the Frog is doing in the book. It was not me researching the word and somehow finding out that there's this ancient, terrible cartoon. It's because that's floating around in my head.
So, two questions that came to mind about Looney Tunes. Do you have a favorite Looney Tunes character, and do you find? Well, go ahead, and you can answer that one.
Bugs Bunny. Yeah.
Oh, Bugs Bunny. There you go.
He's great.
And do you find Looney Tunes shockingly violent when you're watching it with your kids? Looney Tunes is on HBO Go now, and I've just been watching a few with my kids recently, and I'm kind of like, wow, this is why I like violent movies so much today. I don't know.
Actually, I found with Tom and Jerry that they beat each other up so much that I decided not to show them anymore to my daughters. I thought
it's very
like disturbing. Like they do everything but bleed. But with the Looney Tunes, I have told them about the guns. I have said in these cartoons, when you shoot somebody with a gun, they come out sooty and embarrassed. Yeah. But I said, do you two understand that real guns have bullets and they kill people? And I thought maybe they need to know that. I mean, I don't think they're going to come across a gun, but I thought that was a difference. But it wasn't going to mean I didn't show them the cartoons in their entirety. I just figured this is my lore. But when Elmer shoots Daffy Duck in the face, that's not how it would really go. And I remember one of them said yes, and then we just kept walking, kept watching. Yeah.
Good to clear the air on that one, I guess. And I've got to, while we're on the pop culture stuff, I've got to mention Lucille Bogan. I don't know that you have to say anything about her, but I'll just mention to the audience, if you happen to be listening to this, she's like the Megan Thee Stallion of 1928.
It's the same thing. She is an obscure, although excellent black blues singer. She was a big deal in her day, utterly forgotten now, but she cut a few sides which were only meant to be passed around at parties at the time, but they survived. They're an excellent sound. You listen to somebody in 1935, and she makes her way through almost every curse word in this book, used in full fashion. It's not a joke. It's not coy. It's very explicit, and to the point that I can't even quote any of it, but just look up Lucille Bogan. And in particular, there's one song, can I say? Yeah, there's one song called Shave 'Em Dry. and we don't need to get into what she's talking about, but if you listen to her, have some bourbon before, and you will hear that these words existed in full flower in 1935, because she's using them, definitely.